On 1st and 10, Winston. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Lane. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Kamara. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Here's Kamara trying to. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
Here we go. Time to end it. You ain't got nothing. Slam, slam, slam.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara. His 17th touchdown now on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. From the gun, Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that 1st down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot.
Going now, they're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot shot. do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
Winston connecting.
Able to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third. Now Jones, and he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Ready. White 25. Green 17. Check 15. Check 15.
A first down throw for Winston. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Winston going to get this out to Evans. 7 yards there and a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Here's Winston. That's going to be caught. And he's into the end zone. Mike Evans, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out.
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. And not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward, since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Following the interception, Winston. And this is caught by Evans. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
Ready. Black 25 behind. Tighten up.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Now Winston. Jones has it. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. they become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Complete to Jones. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16.
That play was well covered, just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll run it with Jones. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call. These two teams all tied after one.
Ready.
Now Jones. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration.
Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs have taken the lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down?
He's got a man, complete. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas. 77 yards as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Looks good on the extra point. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
At the 20-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Kill. Turn it up. Kill.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get his second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. Second and goal from the 1.
3 bucks, 3 bucks. 25, check 25, check 25.
They'll run it with Kamara. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. So they held him out on 2nd down, and now here's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
It's an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Let's go.
First and goal, Tampa Bay.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. One back in the game, that's Jones, second and goal. Jameis to throw it. Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. They'll break the huddle, send 3 receivers left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 5. To throw, it's Brady. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Saints have retaken the lead. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. You're down 3, under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But, boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Fletcher Cox, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, check Mike 11, check Mike 11. It's our time, it's our time, guys. It's our time.
Working from the gun, it's Brady. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Ready. 45, check Mike 45. Let's go, baby. Return that check. Let's get that ball. 45, Mike, 45. You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me in your nightmares.
Brady going to try and throw on 3rd down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the 1st. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Here's Kamara out of the pistol. Room here to run. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
45 the mic. I got it. 45 the mic. 45 the mic. Stop your whining.
On 2nd and 9, Brady. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a 1st here on 3rd down.
Pick it up, D. Short.
Shotgun now for Brady. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side. I
would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 41, Winston caught by Jones. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Mike, right here. Wait. Follow.
Winston now to throw on first down. He finds his target. It's Evans. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They go back to the ground with Jones. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Winston. And he finds Howard complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Winston in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Winston. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And they move this all the way down to the 9. He got 29 yards that time. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will put them on top here in the 3rd. Following the touchdown, here's that's fielded in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Elsewhere in the NFL, they're in the second half at FedEx Field now. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Brady. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Devin White, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Back now here live in New Orleans. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. The Saints on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
Back. He's coming. Double up.
From the gun, it's Brady. He'll have a first down past the 40. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A big 30-yard play on third.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now Kamara. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 44-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Rapid. Hey, check Mike 45. All you get is a headache. 45, Mike, 45. We own them. Check. Echo.
Operating from the gun, Brady. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
1st and 10.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Check 52.
On the ground, Kamara. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 14-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the screen. Pass. Hey, watch this.
A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
4 down. Check. Showing up. 49. Check 49.
From the gun, Brady. And a quick throw here that's complete. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 4th down.
A 32-yard attempt.
And Lutz's kick is good. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking...
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Trey Hendrickson just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
To try again after the sack. Winston, he completes it to Jones. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
53, check 53.
Winston now. It's caught. Jones. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll run on first down. It's Jones. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
On first down, Brady. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on second and long. Brady, now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. Thomas, the intended target. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all three timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
following the pickup of 4. Here's 2nd and 6. They're looking to throw this. Winston looking middle, and it's incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. 3rd down here. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Now Winston. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Winston to Godwin on the connection there for a Tampa Bay first. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Jones. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
At the 50-yard line.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll go again to Jones. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
1st down, Buccaneers.
Ready? 53, check 53. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it. Now.
Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And I tell you, these division games, never for the faint of heart, but they come through with a tight victory here on the road.
And you find yourself working harder in a game like this too, don't you?
Yeah,
because you got to stay with it, right? You got to stay with it. You got to stay locked in. It's our type of a game. And you just mentioned it. Division game, on the road, tight, and they find a way to win it. Way to hunker down, as my old coach used to say, and find your way through.
So for the Buccaneers, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves.